Dundee United scored as many goals as they've had pitch invasions over the past couple of weeks tonight when they beat Partick Thistle by 4-1 and finished off their championship campaign in style. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. The Arabs are going back to the top of the Scottish pyramid. They will be playing Scottish Premiership football next season. We already knew that before tonight, but they did a good job in front of their home fans, finishing off the season in style, beating a good Partick Thistle side who, let's be honest, have probably underperformed this season, but nonetheless, a tough test for Dundee United, and it looked like it was going to be a very tough test when Dundee United actually lost the first goal in this game, but they came back, they won 4-1, convincing performance, very good from them. They end the season on a high. A few months ago, I don't think Dundee United fans were feeling very high at all. A lot of them were actually wanting Jim Goodwin to go because they didn't believe that they would win the title if he stayed. But you know what? Fair play to him. He's turned things around. Has it helped with Rafe Rovers kind of bottling it a little bit? Yes, it has. But Dundee United have been consistent towards the later end of the season. And I think they are the rightful champions. And I think they deserve to go up.
Yep, as Ewan Cameron said, he backed Dundee United. He said, oh, Rafe will fall apart, and they did. They fell apart.
It's like the one prediction only that Ewan Cameron's ever got right.
Absolutely, unless he predicted Hearts to beat Celtic tomorrow, and hopefully that happens, but it started with a Stanway. Take on me, 1-0 to Partick Thistle, and we all thought that, oh, what's going on here? Dundee United still feeling the effects, the after party, because they've been partying for the past few weeks. That's been their gimmick. It was pretty poor against Airdrie, the 0-0. And we thought the same here, but Dundee United, they were dominating possession, they were dominating the chances.
And then the big hitters turned up.
The big hitters turned up. No, it was a bit of a disaster from a Partick Thistle point of view at the back. They just couldn't get it cleared. It eventually then fell to Sabald and he just stuck it in the back of the net.
Yeah, so Sabald getting the equaliser, then Fotheringham got a goal. Tony Watt scored in the 69th minute before Louis Moult penalty finished it off. We're not going to go through the goals because, I mean, what's the point? It was a nothing game, really. It was just about Dundee United winning the league in style. The stats, though, I think are... they almost look like they're broken because I can't just imagine that this is... It could be so one-sided, but Dundee United finished with 23 shots to Partick Thistle's 2. They had 8 shots on target to Partick Thistle's 1. Just completely dominated the game. You wouldn't expect that because, like I said, this is a strong Partick Thistle side. I mean, this is kind of stats you'd expect if Dundee United were playing Arbroath. Never mind a team that was expecting the challenge for the title come at the end of the season. So, yeah, I know. Dundee United did their job tonight. They did it well. They came out with a guard of honour with the Partick Thistle players. You know, they gave them the respect. We had big tifos in the crowd as well. So, you know, it was pretty much a packed out TANNADICE tonight, or at least close to it. You know, lots of fans there supporting their team. Jim Goodwin spoke after the match. He says, quote, "I'm just delighted for everyone connected to the club. Last season was a big disappointment. I'm happy with the players. We were able to handle the pressure. I'm just glad to get Dundee United back to where they belong." End of quote. And I agree there with Jim Goodwin. Last season was a big disappointment, especially after appearing to have done the hard work. They got themselves in a position. They actually got themselves off the bottom of the table before going into the split. And then they get into the split and they lost all 5 games. I thought that was a disaster. I mean, with 33 games played last season, I don't think people were expecting Dundee United to go down because they actually had a decent wee bit of form when Jim Goodwin initially came in.
No, they did. And I don't understand why they did go down because...
And I think the gap, it wasn't that big of a gap, but he pulled back, I believe it was like a 5-4 point.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a couple of wins away if you're pulling it back, and he did pull it back just to lose the last 5 league games in a row. I mean, that was very disappointing.
Back end of last season feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah, now, where I don't agree with Jim Goodwin is, he went on to say, quote, "In the last 10 to 15 years, there's not many teams that have finished on the points total we have." So he's proud of his team. I haven't got the stats in front of me. I don't have the points total, but I refuse to believe
75.
That for the past 10, 15 seasons, I don't have the points total, which I thought was pretty obvious. I don't have that in front of me right now, but I refuse to believe that this is a great points tally. I don't think it is. It's better than what we had last season with Dundee and Queen's Park, but both of those teams did try and throw that league away at the end of last season. I don't think 75 is groundbreaking. It's an okay points tally, but for me, it's nothing to be super proud of. It's nothing memorable, especially coming from a team that was expected to dominate the league.
Yeah, and they only won the league in the last couple of weeks. I mean, I wouldn't say it's poor, but it's not good.
Yeah, now, were they expected to dominate like Hearts were a few years ago? Probably not, okay, but Dundee United, people expected them to walk this league.
Yep, they did. Make no mistake about it.
Just like when Hibs were the only big team in it, just like when Rangers were in it with Hibs, Rangers were expected to win it easy. I don't think this is a big points tally.
No.
Dundee United are a big club. They should be winning it easy. And for me...
But obviously Goodwin's going to make himself sound better than what it is.
Well, that's true, but I just don't necessarily agree with him. We also heard from Dundee United striker Tony Watt. He says, quote, "Brilliant night. It's been an amazing atmosphere. Hopefully we can bring more nights like this back to TANNADICE. The chicken dance had one more run out in the championship. I hit my target, double figures for goals and assists." End of quote. So that's pretty good there. Tony Watt's on double figures for both.
He's talking a good game. Wait till you're in the Premiership, buddy,
Well,
alright?
good news for Tony Watt is he can play as Dundee United in his career mode next season for his YouTube channel.
Yep.
Where he plays FIFA content, FC content.
More content than us, because guess what? Gaming's dead.
Gaming is dead, just like the... never mind.
Just
Anyway,
like the what, mate? Go ahead.
Dundee United celebrate the trophy. It's a good season for them. Will they stay up next season? I expect them to. I think they will improve the squad. I'm not convinced that Jim Goodwin is the man to take Dundee United forward, but he should be good enough to keep them in the league. But is that really what Dundee United are looking to do? Survive?
No, if Dundee can get top 6 and Dundee United can push for something similar, that's my logic.
Yeah, Dundee United. So you think coming back up straight away, they should be looking to get into top 6? Top 6 should be the target?
Why not? If you're setting yourself up just to survive, you're setting yourself up for a disappointing season.
Well, Derek McKinnon's first season back would come on.
I mean, you could argue that Hibs and Aberdeen won't be as shit next season, but come on. You could argue St Mirren, Dundee and Killie might not be as good. I mean, it's variables. Come on, get the job done.
I believe if you offered Jim Goodwin 7th, he would take it. If you offered him right now, you will finish 7th, guaranteed. No higher, no less. I got to believe he would take that.
I think he would, yeah.
And I think most Dundee United
Keeps
fans...
his job easily with that.
I think most Dundee United fans would probably take that as well. Is that negative? Perhaps, but that's it, guys. Dundee United have done it. They're back into the top flight of Scottish football. I think they've got a solid team to build on. Obviously, they will be looking to improve and bring in some better players, but I think they've got a decent foundation at the club. And for me, they won't be favourites to go down. I think they'll be fine. I'm assuming they will finish 8th, 9th. I think that's probably where Dundee United will come next year.
Aye, that's the region I think as well.
Don't know who's going to be in the league next season because we could still be saying goodbye to County or St Johnstone. But I do believe that's definitely 2 teams that Dundee United should be looking to finish above.
Yeah, absolutely. But what I would say is Livy down, I know not officially, but Livy going down, Dundee United coming up is good for the league.
Very good for the league. It's a good trade-off.
It is a fantastic trade-off. It's as good as you could hope for, really, if we're being truthful. In terms of like attendances and club size and all that stuff.
And that pretty much then leaves us. So we don't know who is going to be the other team possibly coming up, but right now, the team joining Dundee United in the Premiership next season is between 5 teams. And it is essentially Raith Rovers, Partick Thistle, Airdrieonians, St Johnstone and Ross County. One of those 5 teams will be playing Premiership football next season. 4 out of the 5 will not.
Yeah, so we'll have
Who's your money on?
Who will not be? Who will be? Who will be? That's the easier way to decide it. I'll go with Airdrie. There you go.
Airdrie will be.
Airdrie will be in the Premiership next season.
I think their form's falling off at the wrong time. I don't think it'll be Airdrie. The way things are going, I think it's probably going to be Ross County.
I hope not, man. I like a wee Highland trip, but come on.
I think Ross County will stay 10th, and then I don't know, St Johnstone.
Ideal world, I'd like St Johnstone to go down and Airdrie go up. That's my ideal scenario.
That's the ideal scenario, but this is an ideal.
Or Raith, because Raith haven't. When was the last time Raith were in the Premiership?
91, I think.
There you go.
Anyway, guys, that's it. Not ideal for Dundee United. They didn't win the league as convincingly as they wanted, but here, a title's a title, and they come in short supplies these days. So
yep, you gotta believe me, Keith.